We have the Apex water tower in the distance. The actual facility is right on the road, so pretty convenient. You're also only a couple miles from the highway, so easy access. We have a little welcome table here with some information. Oh, stickers. We all love stickers. Sticker sheet. Information about the town of Apex. A little map on here so you don't get lost. Very nice. And also just a general IONNA Rechargery info sheet here, along with some upcoming locations. We have Kansas, Texas, Pennsylvania, Ohio. Very cool. All right, well, I finished my charging session. It was short but sweet. Everything worked. I'll do an analysis of the charging curve. When I come back in about 2 weeks or so, I'm gonna test it from 10% up to 80%. And I'm gonna be paying the full amount, so I'll be just like a regular customer, versus today was just kind of like a test just to make sure that the charging worked. In any case, I'm gonna be wandering around and enjoying the site, and now I'm going to talk to some people that I've been wanting to talk to. I'll see you in a little bit. And I think this is Tom Moloughney's F-150 Lightning. He is charging up here. Let's see what we got here. He's doing what I'm going to be doing later, recording the charge. He's already pretty full.
Family and friends' kids.
Get some more video here.
Yeah, it's we drove down yesterday, so it's like 560 miles.
I have Tom Moloughney here. He brought his F-150 Lightning to test out on the IONNA. And do you want to tell us about what they're looking at today for this charging test?
Let me invite all my followers down here, and we'll just hammer your stations and plug in all day long. And I was like, yeah, that sounds good, but they had to make sure the site was ready, because it's still technically, they're just finishing construction. I was here 2 weeks ago. It was a total construction site. So they got it ready to go, and now all day long, everyone's just going to be plugging in and hammering the Alpatronic 400s, making sure that, they deliver. And, on IONNA's end, they want to make sure that all their payment processing works, and, everything goes off without a glitch. So that's pretty much what we're doing. They're getting some information, and us as EV owners are getting some information on how the site's going to work.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Did you drive down yesterday? Or?
Yeah, I drove from New Jersey. It was about 550 miles, and got in like 11:30 last night.
Gotcha.
So I rolled in here at 0% state of charge and plugged in, and I'm going to charge to up to 90%, and then unplug.
Gotcha.
Which we're almost at now.
Gotcha. Awesome. Yeah, I have a 10:20, I think, appointment for my car. I have a Tesla Model 3, and I also have a Fisker Ocean. So the Fisker Ocean is going to be the one I'm testing today, which is unusual for this area. There's about 30 owners here. Yeah. It's not, as the millions of Teslas. If you go around this area here, Apex, Morrisville, Cary, is like the EV mecca of the state.
Okay.
You drive around, you'll see 20 EVs just in like a mile or two.
Well, then they put the charger in the right place.
It definitely is the right place, because I have several neighbors that have Cybertrucks, Rivians. Neighbor just had a Bolt, now they have a Lyric. So it is just going nuts.
Well, that's cool. That's what you want to see.
Yeah.
So
Well, thanks for
I'm happy to
giving
come
me an
on.
explanation, and I'm going to be here all day, so I'm going to be
So will I. So
Thanks
I'll
very
be
much.
around. Take care.
State of charge 0 to 90.
Yeah. I wonder why it's showing those two different charging codes.
I don't
What am I
know.
missing? Power and charging time. And what's the other one? Power and, let me see.
State of charge.
Yeah.
So it's like the two
Yeah.
graphs.
So these charging stations also have a chart after you finish that shows the kilowatts over time. So nice to see a charging curve after you charge. There is a bamboo grove right behind the property. Quite the unusual neighbor.
My house to Animal Kingdom, 7 miles. Yeah, dude. Like I see fireworks every day from my house. Like that's how close I am. Yeah. So I hear fireworks every day. Yeah. I mean, so yeah. We go a lot.
If you can just tell me why you did this, the whole point of this event.
Oh yeah, I got to think about why we did this. I don't know.
And this is your first meetup, right?
That assumes we actually plan things and think ahead, which we don't. So this is our first ever meetup. So I think the real reason we wanted to do this was, so we talked to some of the guys at IONNA a few weeks ago, and they were like, we want to get involved with the community. And I'm like, okay, cool. We've got the viewer base who drives electric. Let's do something cool. And they were like, what if we pre-open the site for a day, let your viewers come, stress test the hell out of it, and then we get to do a meetup, which is really fun. So it's cool to see everyone. And they will get the raw, unfiltered feedback from the EV drivers who know what they want at sites. So this isn't like your normal, like first-time EV charging experience for a lot of people. You're going to have the hardcore, the folks who know all the different networks, who have been driving, and they'll be able to rapidly get feedback in real time. So there's a bunch of IONNA folks here that are going to be taking notes throughout the day. They have like a whole clipboard thing. Yeah, should be really fun. And overall, I think if IONNA doesn't work as a network, if they end up having reliability issues, if they end up having a bad reputation, then there's going to be a really huge barrier to entry for any other CPO to launch in our market. We've already had rough beginnings with EVgo and Electrify America. Tesla's done a really good job, but opening up the network hasn't been entirely smooth 100%. So I think if IONNA can have the best possible chance, it's good for the whole industry, not just for them. And that's just my view on it. And also, selfishly, I just wanted to see our viewers and do something fun. So, and they had a great venue for us to host.
Yeah, they picked a great area to be in because the whole triangle area is like the EV center of North Carolina.
Oh yeah, I lived here for a long time before like EVs were super popular. And even then you would see the Leaf guys, the i3 guys, the early Model S guys going to all the EV meetups here. And it was really fun before I was a YouTuber, seeing that electric car thing here.
A Triangle Tesla club, because
Yep.
I joined that too.
Yep.
I have an early VIN Model 3,
Oh,
VIN
cool.
14,000. So
Oh,
one of
wow.
the earliest in the state. Still got it.
Nice.
I'm going to keep it forever
Hell yeah.
for my kids.
That's amazing.
It's an heirloom car.
Yeah.
Because it's the rear-wheel drive long range.
Yep.
It's just something about it that I just can't give up.
Yeah, no, totally. Those early Model 3s are the best, in my opinion. They're so great. I owned also a rear drive long range 2018, an early one. I can't remember what my VIN was, but just over 1,000 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And it was awesome. It was so cool. I missed that car.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks very much,
Yeah,
Kyle.
thank you for coming.
And I'm going to be here all day, and I'm sure you're going to be here. So
Yeah,
we're going to
I'm
have a
locked
lot
here.
of fun. We're going to be talking to everybody. And,
Hell yeah.
And the cars are already lining up.
Yeah,
Check
pretty
that
cool.
out.
Pretty
Yeah.
cool, for sure.
All right.
Filming people with cameras.
All right, so this is Walt. We've been in contact on email for, I think, months now. Every time I find something new, I usually let him know. And Walt, tell me about your channel.
Sure, I do the Network Architect channel, which sounds like a misnomer for EVs, but actually it turned out, it initially was a technology channel focused on computer networking, but I started to become fascinated with electric vehicles after my wife purchased one, and I was just doing small videos, and research that I was doing for myself seemed to be resonating with viewers, so I just kept making it, and before you knew it, here we were.
I've been following you for a while, and especially since you're a local North Carolina native, well, not native, where are you from?
Originally from Chicago. I spent
Chicago?
a decade in South Florida, and I moved here. This is known as being a halfback, because you move to Florida and then you move halfway back.
I am totally in agreement. I grew up in Florida, well, I grew up in New York, moved to Florida in high school, college, went to DC for a job, and now North Carolina. So
Carolina
I'm
is
just
really
all
nice.
over back and forth.
Yeah, I didn't know what I fell into, but it's really temperate climate and great economies and lots of things going on with EVs. I mean, here we got the headquarters for IONNA in Research Triangle Park, as well as multiple other electric vehicle companies. We had ChemPower show up, and we had VinFast show up, and multiple other things going on in the electric vehicle community. I think there's an ABB facility too on 40, a little bit west of here, so just plenty of
And then we
infrastructure.
have, I guess, Toyota's having a battery factory too.
That's right, I heard about that.
And that'll be, between them and the VinFast, though I think the VinFast has been delayed.
I was kind of surprised to see that. I was at the plant under construction probably about a year ago, and it was in full swing. They were digging dirt and putting up concrete walls, and then, as you say, the pause button was pressed, and they're still producing out of Vietnam. They haven't abandoned the market. It's just a wait and see, and very likely at some point in the next couple of years, we'll see that factory light back up again.
Yeah, I did a review on the VF8 back I guess in January, and I thought it was a decent car, and it's one of the few dealerships. Yeah, I actually did test drive.
Okay.
One of the few dealerships
I test drive it,
is
but-
right in Cary, North Carolina.
Yeah,
here,
it was,
so VinFast Cary.
Yeah, so they wouldn't let me film inside the car. It was shortly after I had actually scheduled a trip to go up there, and then Kyle had shown up the week before, and apparently it was like a frictionless situation, and I said, I'm a YouTuber, and I'm here to film a VinFast. They're like, no, we're good.
So out of all the networks you've been tracking, because you track all the different networks as they are going through expansion throughout the U.S., which one do you think has the most promise out of all these projects going on?
So in my personal opinion, IONNA has a very banner opening that's occurring, but if I had to put my money on the table on a certain CPO that will have the most stations open in 2025, it would be Walmart. That team is really relentless. Once they get going, they finish the job. And assuming they get their funding, they have the properties, they know what they're doing. The mission statement is pretty focused. They have their hardware picked out and selected, and they're in the process of doing the final vetting of their beta sites. There's no stopping that team. So if I had to put my money on someone, I'd say 2025, you'll see Walmart absolutely bloom.
Gotcha. So so it's great meeting everybody. This is the first time I've got to meet all of the, I guess, YouTube celebrities in the EV space
It's really
in
been
one
great.
area.
I know this is the first time that they've actually advertised, hey, we'll be here. And most of the time they keep this secret so an event like this doesn't turn into a big, everyone show up. But here we are, we all showed up. This was great fun, terrific. And we got snacks.
Snacks, we got ice cream. Two Roosters is my wife's favorite ice cream place, so they had open a little stand over there for people to try out. But so I thought it went very smoothly. I started at 10:20, and they were a little concerned about how to get the cars to flow in and out, but it seems over the past couple hours, it seems to be moving.
There's a routine that everyone is following, and it was well established, and it was communicated well, and everyone is in the process of doing the goal of load testing the site. We're successfully doing so, and so I would say definitely a successful event.
Yeah, I think they did decrease the time. I think originally they wanted 20 minutes, and now it's 10 minutes.
It was, from what I understood, it was 20 minutes actually at the stall.
Ah, okay.
So with the time to plug in and everything, so yeah.
Okay, so an active 10 minutes of charging. So, and that was enough for me to see. I arrived with 15% and charged up to 40 in 10 minutes, which I thought was pretty good.
That is very good.
I was very impressed that it has, when you stop, a charge curve displayed. on the screen itself, which I rarely, I don't think I've ever seen that on an EA or EVgo display where it actually shows the results of the charging like that.
Yeah, Alpitronic is a new hardware vendor for the United States, and it's definitely going to be a great addition. Definitely an improvement.
I'm going to analyze my charging and see how well it did, but I think it did about as well as I can at 15% state of charge, because usually I get the most when I'm like 0 to 15, and then it ramps up and then it starts going down. Like most EVs, you know, they'll hit their height around that early state of charge, and then it just ramps down. So I'm pretty happy so far. I mean, for 10 minutes getting that much charge, can't complain.
Yeah, by all accounts, the Alpitronics are able to put out the nameplate speed. And so if the situation is below what the nameplate says on an Alpitronic, which is basically 400 for the HYC 400s, it's either the car or the transformer. It's not the charger.
Did you get to try your car?
I did.
And how did that work? Oh, what car do you have?
I have a 2023 Cadillac Lyriq Debut Edition. And its charging curve is not great. I have seen on EVgo's it's sustained. It'll pop above 180 for a little bit, and then it'll come down to about 150, and then it'll typically dip at the a little bit after 50%. And I think I was in that. So driving here from Charlotte, I showed up with 50%. It's got a very large battery. And so I think I was right in that valley of past 50%. So I was starting at 130, and then I dropped down to, I think, about 60, but I didn't have my preconditioning turned on. You know, this wasn't a known charging station, so.
Exactly.
I'm definitely not going to chalk it up to the Alpitronics. I think the Alpitronics were doing just fine at the time.
Yeah, I think for a full like site review, I'm going to come in 2 weeks and just do it as just a customer, and just go from do a 10 to 80, which I consider a 10 to 80 the usual charging on a trip, maybe even shorter. You know, it depends.
Assuming the weather is temperate. I mean, if it's 20 degrees outside, that might be affecting, but if it's 50, 60 degrees like it has been, it's been very nice.
Or if you go inside to eat, you can charge up higher if you got time, and you know, so that's an option too, is that they allow you to have other things you can do while you're charging. So this site is great for that. So. But yeah, well, great. Nice talking to you, Rob. And I'm going to be watching your channel. I'll give the links for your channel in my video description if anybody else wants to check his channel out. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Great. All right, so you can back in a Tesla and extend the cable all the way over. I'll give you an idea here how far it reaches. You can see that arm really gives a long distance there. You can see the cable goes all the way from that charging station all the way to the left side of the car. So pretty cool. So this is F-150 Lightning Pizza plugged in. Pizza oven plugged into the outlet. Very cool. All right, so we got a Cyber Beast here. Yeah, Cyber Beast is charging. As if you didn't know it was a Cyber Beast, it's got a large enough logo on the back. Mine took about 30 seconds or so to.
You have to be below 10%.
You have to be below 5%, realistically. It's just like my Model Y. It just peaks at single digits and then drops like a rock.
All right, so we got some vehicles in the lineup for the next group. We have a Chevy Equinox, Kia EV6, we got Bolt EV, Ioniq 5, and then we have 3 Teslas on this side, all waiting to do the charging thing. We have a Lucid charging. All right, we have the 12 o'clock cruise starting right here. Quite the spread out today. Nice. We have ice cream set up. Two Roosters, favorite local ice cream shop. Really good. Now we have a motorcycle here. Something you don't see every day.
We live here so we can let other people come by here another time and recharge. Oh, thank you.
Okay, not this one.
I'm almost at the end of the day. This test ends at 3 p.m. and at that point, I have to actually go back to work. Pretty successful day, lots of cars charged. I think there was over 200 people at this event. And yeah, I think it went very well. So I'm gonna follow up in a future video on testing this site with my vehicle from 10 to 80%, see how that works. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.